Hello, friends. Well, I've gotten to work with some of you doing chair yoga. I've met some great new people recently, and we've had such a good time doing chair yoga that we wanted to put something out there for you to see in your spare time, in your off time from our sessions together. I'm Tiffany with Yoga for You, and this chair yoga video will be 99% seated. There's nothing standing. So I would say it would be the first step in chair yoga before we progress to using the chair for standing postures. I hope that you enjoy. We want a chair that maybe has just little arms, if any arms at all. We don't need arms. Sometimes they're great for twists, but we don't need them, and I just happen to have a chair that doesn't have arms, so that's fine. We'll manage twists in different ways in a little while. Secondly, you'll notice that I have shoes on. That's completely up to you. If you're more comfy without your shoes, that's completely fine, but we won't need to have bare feet for this class. Let's get started. When you have your chair and you're ready to join me, we're gonna get seated any way that's really comfy in the beginning. It doesn't matter if your back is against the back of the chair or forward. I just like to sit a little forward so I can get really lifted in my spine. Draw your belly in and try to breathe through that brace. Think about drawing your navel into your spine and kind of zip tying those things together. And then as you lengthen up, shoulders back over your hips, we're just gonna take a moment to steady ourselves, to collect ourselves, and connect with our breath. I always ask in every class that I teach that no matter how many times you've practiced yoga at breathing and mindfulness, that you approach it with a beginner's perspective. Maybe things will be a little different today, or maybe you'll feel a little different today or a lot different. Maybe your mood is different. Everything about this moment right here and right now is different than the last time you practiced, so we're all beginners. And with a beginner's mindset, there's no judgment. There's just open-mindedness, curiosity, just seeing, noticing, feeling, letting go when necessary, taking more when you can. Noticing where we're feeling breath the most. Maybe it's coming in right on the tip of our nose, or we're feeling the cooling breaths as it travels in two threads, weaving through our bodies. Maybe we feel it in our throat, in our chests, or in our bellies. I'll have partners when I do these videos unless I lock them out. They're much more calm when they're allowed to join me, so I hope you enjoy. This is Scout I have with me today. We're gonna begin when you're ready, moving at your own pace all through class. Feeling free to linger in any posture, you can pause the video and take a little while longer if something feels extra good. When you're ready, hands are really soft and we're seated up in our beautiful posture. Starting with some easy neck rolls, dropping ear right over to your shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, and then as soon as you drop, start to re-lift through your sides. Trying to stay really long and tall, even on our crunchy side. Rise back up, breathing the whole time, breathing all throughout class. Drop your ear over to the other side. And some people like to set an intention during their yoga class. My only request is that your intention be prioritizing breath. Bring it right back up into the center. Draw your ear back over the shoulder we started with, and then this time try to tip your chin, maybe your eye gaze too, right up towards the ceiling, lengthening out through the bottom ribs. Breathing and moving. Our vinyasa dance is like a dance of body movements and breath. Linking the two, rising when you're ready, exhaling, dropping over to the other side. And if your neck feels really good, lifting your chin and your eye gaze just a little bit. Rising up through the lower side. Coming right on back into the middle, and let's add just a little bit with our arms. Just the first two fingers, so it's not too intense as we lift and drop towards the right side. First two fingers gently pull, and it might feel really great to lift our chin too. Back into the center when you're ready, drop that arm. And then do the same on the other side. Ear towards shoulder, first two fingers of left hand, lifting chin or not, and just gently falling. Adding a tiny bit more on here, rising. Switching back to what we just did, but this time we're extending our left hand down as we lift our chin. Drop our neck or our ear towards our shoulder, using first 2 fingers only to be really gentle about this and potentially lifting up through the chin. When we add on a lot to poses or postures, breath work can get tricky. Inhale, rise, switch the other side. Let the right arm fall. First 2 fingers of left hand. Breath is something we do about 25,000 times a day automatically. But when we're moving through yoga postures and poses, sometimes it doesn't feel so easy. So just be kind and gentle with yourself if you feel a little stuck. As soon as you remember, re-breathe again. Inhale, arms rise. Hands rest wherever they're really comfy. And then if your neck feels good enough, we're going to drop chin towards chest and swing around in a half moon or a rainbow or a smile shape, whatever you want to visualize that makes you feel really lighthearted and happy to be moving in this beautiful way today. You can make it bigger, swinging chin up towards ceiling. And if all that feels really good, you might even want to explore all the way back. Trying to sit up tall here as we're moving, feeling free to move continuously in one direction, or as I'm doing, you can kind of switch around from one side to the other. And we're always listening to our bodies. No matter who we're taking class with or what video we're following along to, listening to our bodies before whoever's leading you. If your body says this doesn't feel good in this moment, just take a little pause, reconnect with your breath, and join us when you can. Doing as many more as you'd like, and then coming with me, hands come to knees. We're rounding our backs, tucking our bellies in, tucking our chins in and rounding our backs into an angry cat, and then using our knees to pull forward. I encourage an out breath when we come into our angry cats here. Helping empty the belly really helps you get into that tight, tucked position. And then a big in-breath as you open your chest, relax your shoulders back and down, broaden across your collarbones. As we squeeze all the air out of our bellies here, rounding forward, creating a tortoise shell shape on our backs. Inhaling, dropping shoulders as we lift up into what is unflatteringly called cow pose. Might feel a lift in the tailbone, drawing head back towards tail. Let's just try a couple more rounds. And if there are any organic movements that feel really good to you, moving arms, moving shoulders, maybe moving through your sides in any of your poses, remembering that there's no specific way we have to move. We want to move in a way that makes us feel really, really good. And then when you're ready to exhale, just pause for a second, always taking a moment in between our sets of postures just to reconnect and see how you feel. Hopefully it's really good. If we're able to reach back towards the back of our chair, we're going to press off the back of our chairs and scoot forward into our cow that we just did. My navel is coming towards you. Chest is opening, broadening the collarbones. They're smiling open. And we're getting this beautiful front body stretch. Top of head and tailbone pulling backwards. Take one more big breath in here. See if we can sip in any extra air. And then on your exhalation, release, soften, let go of the back of the chair and float your hands back. Bringing your arms all the way up and overhead, any way that feels good. It might be a sweep forward. And then we're twisting towards your left side, dropping both hands. If we can connect with our left knee and leg, that's a great place to be to help us boost up a little bit. And then exhale, twisting a bit deeper. Let's pause here, not pausing our breath, just pausing our body. Lifting a bit taller the next time you breathe in. And then exhaling a bit deeper when you breathe out. Come right back to the center. Any way your arms want to rise. We might even feel palms in the center, midline of our body is good to rise on up. Exhale, and this time twist to your right side. Dropping hands to whatever we can get a hold of that might help us boost a bit. And then twist deeply. Continuing your breath, but pausing in your body. As you breathe in next time, lift. Top of head comes more towards the ceiling. And then we exhale. If our necks are feeling healthy today, we can use our eye gaze to deepen our twist. Looks just over the left shoulder to help us get a little bigger into our twist. Let's rise again. Maybe we have a different arm pattern this time. It might want to come out really big and wide. And we're dropping our arms in between our knees for some shoulder stretching. Use your left hand to hold your right wrist and push down. Really lengthen down, shoulder towards the floor. Then scoot it up and over your left knee and do the same thing. Press it down, lengthening out like you're combing the tension off your shoulder. Eye gaze might want to look, again, only if your neck feels healthy today, away from your fingertips. Now breathing into both your neck and your shoulder. Let's undo. Eye gaze back forward, hands come back in the middle, just for a little baby shoulder stretch first. Right hand holds left wrist, press down to lengthen. We're trying to get our shoulders down from earlobes and our necks really long here. When you feel good, just scoot it right over your right knee and then do the same thing. Press and lengthen. Lift up tall and then exhale, eye gaze. Looks away from fingers to enhance the twist. When you're ready to return to normal, take a big breath in and just take a second to pause. Seeing if we feel any different than when we started, maybe a little slower, a little calmer. Everything feels a little lighter. Taking a hold of your left knee. If you can get it up off the floor, we're going to try to squeeze it in. And however the hold feels confident and comfortable, might be slippery on the shin. So we may want to hold behind our knee, right on the thigh here. And when we hug in, let's make sure that our shoulders didn't creep up. They stayed back and down. And we're getting a really big stretch here into the hip. Stretching back body. Strong in our bellies, pulling navel in towards our spines, protecting our low backs as we move. Release, and when you're ready to gather up the other leg, we'll do just that. Any hold works, as long as our hands are strong, but our shoulders are relaxed. And these are all moves we're going to incorporate into our sequence of sun salutations in a moment. Take another breath in. Feeling free anytime we're moving to play around with joints. Ankles can move if it feels good. Any organic movements that your brain thinks you want to do, please do. Add those in. Leg comes down, arms rise up high, and this time we're forward folding, coming down to hug somewhere around the knee area or maybe even all the way down towards our shins. And if you feel that you're perched too close to the edge of your chair and it doesn't feel great on the backs of your thighs, you're welcome to scoot forward and back at any time, so this feels really good. Restorative and rejuvenating. When you're done with your forward fold, rising back up, and trying some straight leg extensions. Left leg lifts and flex your foot to press it forward. Now, if we need support in any way, please take it. We can hold on to our chair. We can lean back into the back of our chair. We can also hold on to our leg, trying to activate the top thigh muscle, our quadriceps muscle, and release. Try the other leg when you're ready. Right leg pushes out. We want to really flex our foot to press out long through the bottom of our shoe or our heel. Left knee pulls in. We're using just our left hand here because we're opening our knee out to the side. And it might feel really good to send our right arm out. That's my dog growling, ignore her. Eye gaze towards the extending arm. Coming back into the center, and we're closing our twist now. Swap hands. Right hand to the left knee, left arm out. Eye gaze towards the left arm. Let's sit up really tall as we twist and breathe. Come back to the center. Release your leg. hug into the other side when you're ready. So remember that we're opening first. Hug your knee in, open your thigh out to the side, and it's wherever your left hand is comfy. If we want to stretch it all the way out, maybe it even feels good to stretch it up. I like to enhance the twist with eye gaze, so we're looking away from our bent knee. Coming back in the center when you're ready, feeling free to move faster or linger longer. When you're ready, we're opening the other way. Now we're twisting our belly pulled in tight, sitting tall and breathing, twisting our belly towards our thigh. One more big breath in to sit up really tall. And then on your exhalation, release. Checking in with how we feel. Putting together a little sequence called sun salutations. When you're ready, arms can rise any way it feels good to you. I'll show you a few different ways. Maybe it feels good to open really big and our palms may meet overhead and they may not. Everything is okay. Eye gaze, if it wants to come up and really lengthen you, that would be wonderful. Arms fall down for our forward fold again, hands to knees, or maybe hands all the way towards your shins to hug into a little ball. Rising back to the sky, inhale. Lateral stretches. It's a bit easier to drop one arm down. We can prop it on the chair, on our thigh, or let it dangle, and then we're gonna tip over to the left side. Coming back into the center. Right arm would fall, and we're gonna lean over to the right side. Remembering to lift our crunchy side. Really breathe in and lengthen, feeling free to look up if it's good for you today. Coming back into the center. A little bit of a tougher way to go about these lateral stretches or side stretches. Both arms stay overhead, palms touching or not. Tip to the left when you're ready to breathe back in. Coming to the center. Breathe back out. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, release. We're just gonna add on a little bit. So maybe arms wanna come forward this time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold any way they wanna fall. Hug in tight. Maybe we round our back if it feels really relaxing. And this time, halfway lift. Lifting top of head towards me, top of head further away from your tailbone, lengthening our spine. And from here, sweep your arms any way to get back to the sky. A lateral twist each way, using your arms in any way that feels good. Let's head to the left. When you're ready, rise. Head to the right. Adding on this round, inhale. Drop both hands down to the left side for another twist. Let's sit ourselves up really tall on our inhale. And then exhale, finding any depth of twist that feels great. Feeling free to come back to the center and leave the arms right where they are. Just spin them to the other side. Or you can reach all the way up and overhead. Lengthening, landing, lifting again, and twisting. If it feels really heavenly in any one spot, definitely take the time to stay longer. Otherwise, we're rising, and we're adding on this time. With the arms lifting, lift your left knee. Inhale, exhale, release. Remember, your arms can head in any direction. They may even want to come into center of body. Right knee rises. Arms can fall anyway. This time into forward fold, hugging on to something. And if we can't quite get there, we can always round into a folded position with hands resting on thighs. Inhale, arms rise again. And then exhale, release. Let's add on straight legs this time. Inhale, left leg straightens. If the arms overhead are too much with the leg straightening, we can hold on and straighten with the in-breath, just like we did earlier. Release when you're ready. Extending through the right leg, holding or extending arms. As we land arms, foot lands too, and then we're gonna float into forward fold in our favorite way. Halfway lift on this one, breathe in. Release on out. Inhale, arms rise high to sky. Lateral stretch to the left side. This should feel pretty familiar now, still lengthening through the lower side. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a little bit deeper of a stretch this time. Coming back to center next time you're ready to breathe in. Sending our bodies to the right. Finding some extra space. Breathe in. Combing tension out of our sides. Go just a little further. If we need to drop our arms, we do. Coming back up into the center. Releasing hands all the way down into forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold again. And then rise back up to seated on your inhalation. Here we are again. Trying something just a little bit different. We're gonna lift some knees, heading into a boat pose, but we're prepping for it first. So you're welcome to use your chair, either with your hands, or you can lean into the back of your chair. I'm gonna try to get your core a little warmed up. So we're hugging our left knee in any way that you like to grab. And then I want you to lean back a little bit. Our goal would be not to use the chair back. I'm leaning back, but I'm using my core to support me. Shoulders are relaxed. I'm using strong hands and strong bicep muscles. Chest is lifted, throat is open, as if my collarbones were heading past my knees. One more breath. Exhale in one smooth movement, coming back to our starting position. Whenever you're ready for the other side, gather up your right knee. Lift first, like you're pushing your belly towards your knee, and then lean back. Now remembering we have options. If it's really tough and we need to brace, we can. We can lean back on the chair back and hold this way, but I would love it if you could try to really lift and lengthen. When you're ready to reorient yourself to seated, let's take it back there. Boat pose is going to take both knees up. So again, we have our options, hands, we could lean back and do it, or we're gonna try not to use our back against the chair. So lift your heels, drawing knees in. Ooh, it's tough to lift there. And then we're holding somewhere, wherever it feels most natural for you. Pressing belly towards thighs, opening your heart, opening your throat, eye gaze kind of up towards maybe the seam between your ceiling and your wall. That'll keep us really long and honest in our spinal posture. And you get a little shaky here. If you need to let go, do that at any time. Let's slowly rock forward or bring hands to your chair and let your body come down. And just sit up for a second. Okay, one of my favorite parts. Just come forward and rest. If it would feel good and your body's asking you to move around in your low back, that's a big core exercise. Feel free to do anything that feels good in between your postures. Might need to relax our shoulders. Going backwards usually feels pretty good. Going forward is a bit of a challenge, but if your body's asking for it, go ahead and do it. We're gonna revisit boat pose in a minute, but for now, let's try something different. Left knee comes in, and if we're able to, we're gonna try to get a hold of our leg with a flexed foot for a strong ankle beneath our knee to cross it over into figure four. Now, if this is really hard for us to find, we can simply hold here. This may be enough. If you feel like you need a little bit of maneuvering, you wanna rock around a little bit before you find it, feel free. If you can land in figure four, that's great. Ankle is off to the side enough that it's not pressing into your thigh and your knee bone is not bothering your ankle. And then we're gonna sit up really tall and relax our arms. Energetically, we're pressing with our own strong leg, left knee down towards the floor. And then we're just gonna pause here and lift. Starting with some ankle circles. Now you're welcome to kind of hold on to the bottom of your foot, or you can just rest your hands somewhere else. Ooh, I love all those pops, snapping, cracking, and popping just kind of feels good, doesn't it? Going in one direction is great. If you want to keep on switching direction, whatever makes you happy. Okay, now if your ankle movements got you a little unadjusted here, feel free to readjust your leg, or if your pants are slippery, readjust in any way that's necessary to forward fold. Holding on to our knees really gently in our ankles or our feet, lift up tall and then exhale, forward fold. Let's try that again, roll up. Any way that feels good to you. You can tuck in really tight and roll. Lifting up through the chest, relaxing your shoulders and rolling forward, or we can certainly also, on an exhalation, drive out of our lower foot and just rise up really flat back. See how it feels good for you. Two more like that. exhaling to fall, and full inspiration on the way up. Maybe even pausing to take an extra sip. Oh, there at the top, exhale. Rising up again. Pausing for just a second. And then to undo, let's help our leg off here. And it might feel good to give it just a little squeeze in before you release. Before we get to the other side, let's do something a bit different. Might feel good to scoot more towards the edge of your chair for this one. We're coming out with straight legs. I like to flex my feet here, but we want soft knees. So it feels like our kneecaps are pulling high into our thighs. They're not locking or hyperextending back of knees towards the floor. Lift up, and then exhale and fold forward. Now, if you got too close to the edge of your chair, it may not feel good. You're welcome to scoot all the way back as well, just so you can get folded though. We don't want a big obstruction on the backs of our thighs, wherever that feels good. And if you're a little nervous because you're close to the edge, we can certainly use our hands down as well. We're forward folding to any degree that feels really good for us. If our hands have landed on our legs, they're very soft. We're gonna try not to prop them down hard like a kickstand. Open throat on inhalations. And then exhale, maybe we can make some progress deepening our stretch, especially with our toes pulling towards our shins. We're getting a really wonderful back body stretch here. Deep into the hamstrings. One more big breath. And then as we exhale, walking super gently or just using the strength of our core to pull us to rise, and then drawing knees back in. Always feeling confident to readjust. However feels good for you. We're gonna try figure four on the other side. Right knee hugs in. Whatever you need to do to get your leg around. If we need a little bit of movement first, we have to hold on and kind of rock and roll. If you're feeling like you could cross right on over, let's do that. Flexed foot is important to equally stretch left and right, and to keep our ankle right under our knee, strong joint alignment. Ankle bones and knee bones aren't making us feel uncomfortable. We are ready to rise. And then soften in your facial muscles, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders. Let's go a little bit in our ankles, moving anyway. Might feel like you want a little help here. Now, while we're moving in figure four, or while we're pausing in figure four, we always want to think about using the strength in our legs, the mobility in our leg, our right leg, to press our knee down to the floor, opening in the hip flexor. And then when you feel really nice and free in your ankle, time for some forward folds here. Hands are just really gentle, lifting up again. And on the inhalation, we can hold anywhere we need to, or just rest the hands, pulling our chest forward. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to fold. Try two more like that. Breathe in. We can rise with a flat back, or we can really exaggerate some spinal articulation here if we want to curl up tight into a little ball and then rise up long. Great. Let's try one more. Exhaling to fall, inhaling to rise. And then when you're ready to remove your leg, let's slowly lift. May want to help ourselves, a little support from the hands, and then replace. So I promised you a little extra boat challenge. It's tough to get into boat pose. Boat pose was hard enough as it was. We're gonna try to extend our legs a little bit, a lot, or maybe not at all. Whatever floats your boat today. Let's lean back and then lift our knees. It's tough to get them both up, isn't it? Now we can always hold on. We can always brace whatever feels best for you. So this is the boat we just did earlier. It's wobbly. It's a boat in crazy turbulent waters. But if possible, we're gonna extend a little. We might even flex our feet and extend out so far. Now you don't have to look at my mug the whole time. I'll block it out for a minute and then hold. But hey, listen, if we're even just holding our bent knee boat, if both of our feet are on the floor, feel super proud of this. Congratulate yourself. Don't get too proud though that you'll lose it. Still breathing, still focusing. Take one more big breath in. If we lost our straight legs, we may challenge ourselves to re-straighten them, rebend. And then the hardest part about yoga poses is coming out as slowly and as strong as we got in. Let's see if we can land light as feathers on the floor. Maybe we want to use our hands. Ah, that feels good. Whew, just take a second there. Well done. All right. We have one pose where our backside is going to leave the chair, and that's it for today. Taking your hands, usually we like fingertips facing forward if that feels good on your wrists and your shoulders. Your body will let you know. You could also turn your fingers to the side. We're going to step out just a little bit further from the chair and press down through your heels, attempting to find a chair bridge pose. Once you get everything set up and you think you can boost your buns off the chair, I just want to make sure you're not going to slip out. So check that you are safe with the cushion under your chair, or you're not on a slippery floor, and there's nothing that would cause it to fall out from beneath you. And when you're ready, we're going to press out of our heels and our hands to rise up into bridge. Now as we do this, let's think about peeling our shoulders apart, still breathing even as we get really open here. And we may even open our throats so that our eye gaze is right up towards the ceiling. Act as if you're hugging a yoga block or maybe a pillow or something in between your thighs, keeping energy and intention heading towards our midline and keeping our knees in line with our hip bones. One more big breath in. You don't have to hold it this long. Feel free to come out anytime you need to. On your exhalation, we're coming back down to where it all began. That gets fired up in the back of the arms, doesn't it? So make sure you're really on. Get back on your chair. We have a few more poses before we finish up today. Heading into some twists with palms at heart center. Now, if you felt really strong and energetic in your hands there and you need a little break, feel free to shake them out. Feel free to circle them. You can clasp and move around just to free up your wrists so you're ready for action. When we come into this next posture, get comfy on your chair. We're going to press our palms at heart center. Thumbs are at our sternum. I really like you to press here. So you could just simply have your palms together, or you can really press. So I like you to press, but we're going to think about lifting tall as you press, lifting up just a little bit more, and then twisting right on over to our left side. Coming back into the center, inhale. Let's exhale as we twist to the other side, right on over. Eye gaze is super important. If I kept my eyes forward, really can't rotate as much as if I look. Always have a little extra to go if I look in that direction I'm heading. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Back into the center one more time. Exhale, twist. Right back into the center. Exhale, release your hands. Just a little something different, taking our legs out wide for our straddle stretch. Okay, we're gonna try to figure out our chairs here, get kind of close to the edge. I do want you to have your belly forward so that you have your neutral arch in your low back. If we felt back there in our low back and we had bumpy protrusions, that means that our neutral curvature has been lost, so we would want to press a little bit more forward with our belly. We try not to sit like this as we stretch. So rise on up, and we're just doing a little straddle stretch here. If this feels unsafe with both heels out, you're always welcome to modify anything. We could do one, and then you might feel a little bit better. Maybe we could forward fold here, knee is soft in our straight-legged positions. We could rise. So if we had that on one side, we definitely want to repeat on the other. May feel good to fold, or it might just feel great to extend and let go. We have one more twist before we turn ourselves into warriors for the final bit of our practice. Let's come back to center here. We're revisiting our figure four. Coming back into our left knee hug. We flexed our ankles. We flexed our feet so that our ankles and our knees were strong. We come on over. And this time, remember energetically that our knee is pushing towards the floor. We're rising up with our palms at heart center. And then we are attempting to twist like this. Twisting to one side, coming back to the center, and twisting to the other. And if at any time you feel that you could start to forward fold as you twist, exhale, twist, and maybe make contact with your elbow on something, your knee, your ankle, your foot. That is great. So I'm not quite there today on this side. Inhale. Exhale. Remember prioritizing breath over anything I'm cueing or leading, and listening to your body first and foremost. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, skip it. Let's try one more on each side. Lengthening out both sides as you twist. Inhale. And exhale. Right back into the center, and take a second to let go. Let your knee go. Maybe hug it in for a second. Might need a moment of love. Be super proud of those twists and release. When we're ready for the other side, right knee hugs in. Back to figure four. We've been here. We know all of this. Get comfy with your joints. Lift up. Hands help us lift a little bit more. And then let's start our twist to the opposite side. Come on over to the right first. Coming into the center, and we can just simply stay here, belly in, using our breath as our guide to twist. Or we may want to get a little hinge. Lift, hinge forward a little bit, and seeing if an elbow can land somewhere on the leg in any of these twists. Let's say I could land. I might want to stay there for a little bit and just really enjoy. Breathe in, breathe out. Remembering that our palms are pressing, so we're generating energy between our palms. I think that helps remind me to stay open in my chest and strong and lifted in my back, as opposed to a hand that was just kind of lazy and hanging out. So everything is engaged and switched on. Coming back to the center. Those are tough. Exhale and release whenever you're ready. Always a good idea to help the leg. Just kind of help, assist, be kind, be gentle, be loving, hug in. All right, we've made it to some warriors. Let's bend our left knee open, and our right leg comes back. Now it's really important, hopefully you'll be able to see my feet here, that we turn our left toes out to the side, opening like we did with our knees earlier, and then our right toes are turned in, so we're elongating through our right legs. Our knees are soft, but we're pressing down through the outer edge of our right foot to energize the arch and the whole inner thigh here. And this may be enough. We may even want to hold and kind of open, press open here on the hips. Manual adjustments are a beautiful thing, can really feel the opening happening. If everything feels good, down low, then we're gonna extend our arms in some way, shape, or form. They could be here, goalpost. They may be all the way outstretched. And then typically, in a warrior two alignment that we're in, we would look over our bent knees. As we do our hips and our chest, stay forward. Shoulders stacked over our hips, and we breathe. You're in warrior two. Coming into reverse warrior, what I like to call sun warrior, because I think about holding the ball of sun in my hand and putting it all the way up high in the sky. And then we let our bottom arm fall again, super light in our fingers, like they're feathers. Inhale, rise again, even through our backside. And then on this exhalation, we're landing our left forearm on the thigh, lifting as long as we can in our bottom side. And then the right arm would sweep somewhere. Skywards is really nice, eyes might follow. But if this is too intense, we can cup our shoulder, we can land on our hip. Right now you're in extended side angle. And ideally, as we find this pose, we're light in our left forearm. Our hips, our core is doing the work, our powerhouse. And eye gaze might twist open towards wherever our right arm is. Let's try that whole sequence again. When you're ready, come back into warrior two. Lift tall, top of head away from tail, eye gaze over the left hand. Reverse your warrior, put your sun high up in the sky. These feel great, don't they? So if you want to stay longer, please do. Otherwise, extended warrior two or extended side angle, wherever your arms feel good. Light on the bottom arm, uplifted. One more big breath in. Top arm comes down. Let's rise. And then slowly bring everything back in. Rebending back leg. Coming right back to where we started earlier. So we may have scooted, we might need to readjust. Ready for the other side? Take as much time as you need. When you are, right knee comes out, so I definitely like to scoot a little bit more towards the right side of my chair here. Definitely want to scoot further off the edge so we can straighten our back leg. Let's get our left leg, ooh, we turn into like a little pigeon toe in. When you're ready, soften your knee, energized on the arch and on the whole inside of this leg, thinking about really stamping down through the outer edge, known as the blade edge of that foot. If we need a manual adjustment, that's always nice. Kind of push, spread the flesh. And we may just want to stay here. We can hold, we can go through the motions of leaning back and forward with just our body and no arms. If you're ready to join me, remember all the options. Arms can be anywhere. Traditionally, eyes over your left. Oh, that's your right side. Your right side on this side. Opening just a little bit, finding our stack, shoulders over hips, finding our squared torso. Flipping through the right palm and rising up, up, up just a little bit more, landing so soft in our backhand and then really re-energizing through our sides. Eyes look wherever it feels wonderful. When you're ready for your next breath out, let's transition here. Right forearm towards the floor. And then rotate open through the torso, bringing hand anywhere that it feels good. We want to push to our edge, definitely feeling a bit of a challenge, but nothing painful or too extreme. Find openness, connect with your breath as you elongate. When you're ready for your next exhalation, let's try one more round of our Warrior Two sequence. Eyes over right fingertips. Feel powerful. Sun Warrior, breathe in. Now lift again through your bottom side, light on the bottom arm. Maybe even bringing a smile to your face, but any other tension can disappear. In your time with a real gentleness, let's find our extended side angle. Remembering you always have options with your top arm. Eye gaze, might want to rotate a little up. One more big breath in. And on the exhalation, I usually like to neutralize neck, look forward or down to press up. And then just as slowly as you need to move here. Whew, those are big stretches at the end. And you have made it through your physical practice into the best part of your class. You're in seated meditation at the end. Feeling free to scoot all the way back on your chair and really get comfy. And if you're working on building up your spinal muscles for seated meditation, which is difficult to sit for an extended period of time, feel free to perch right on the edge of your chair and use your strong core, lift up strong. Hands are anywhere that feels really true to you. They can be up, we can cup them, really anything that feels great. And just as we did in the beginning, reconnecting with your breath. I love to offer what I refer to as box breathing because I think it's something simple that we can reasonably remember either during our day when times are rushed or tough or overstimulating or just stressful and we need a second, or I've done it at night if I'm having a hard time sleeping. Always give myself a goal to try to get through 4 of what I call box breaths, and I never make it. So I'm usually like, I do 2 and then I'm back asleep. So I'd like to go through that with you today. Feeling free to focus on box breathing with me or just take a few minutes. Feel free to turn me off or just completely tune me out and hang in till the end of the video, simply being your amazing self, simply breathing and being very proud of what your body just accomplished. If you're joining me today, I typically choose 4 seconds for box breathing. You're welcome to choose any length of time that really works for you. We breathe in for whatever number of seconds, We hold for those number of seconds. We breathe out, same number of seconds. And then we hold again, the same number of seconds. So we've completed our box. I love this strategy because if you're a visual person like me, you can see your box being formed and it just really keeps you on track. Always feeling comfortable to close your eyes in this moment or keep them open, however you feel really, really comfy. And I'll guide you through 2 rounds of box breathing, and then I'll let you do it on your own for 2 rounds of box breathing. Sitting up tall, feeling strong and supported with your beautiful posture. Relaxing shoulders back and down and softening the muscles of our face, letting go in our jaws, corners of eyes in between brows, across forehead and down your cheeks. See the tension, feel it, and then let it go. Beginning our breath practice together. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, expand, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fully let go. 3, 2, 1. Pause, find stillness. 3, 2, 1. One more round together. 4. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last round, breathe in. Pause. Release your breath. Pause. Well done, yogis. Taking as much more time as you have to give to your seated meditation practice or your seated breath practice this morning or this evening, whenever you're doing this. But when you are ready to get back into reality, I just want to congratulate you on a job well done, dedicating your time and energy to hopefully feeling like a better person when you're done your physical and mental practice today. The light in me honors, acknowledges, is inspired by, and very humbled by the light in you. Namaste.